What's going on? My name is JD Garnier, and this is my Walking in Wealth YouTube channel. And listen, my goal for this channel is simple: to help you walk in wealth, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. To take the things that God has already given you and use those to create a life of purpose, so that wealth is much more than just what you acquire. Wealth is who you become. You are the wealth. Not your stocks, not your real estate, not your business. You. Before you have any of that, you have a unique and specific set of talents, abilities, gifts, ideas, inclinations, habits, and discipline that form the basis of anything that you do in life. And once you tap into that, you tap into the source of the wealth creation. So I repeat, you are the wealth. I appreciate you guys checking out my channel. Listen, if you like my message, if you like my content, like it, share, subscribe. That's the only way to get my message out. Now, today I want to talk about business ownership. And I talk a lot about building wealth, wealth creation, and wealth is attached to anything of value. Well, we call things of value assets. And essentially, there's three ways to build wealth. You can buy assets, you can create assets, and you can become an asset. I talk about becoming an asset when I talk about the wealth mindset and how to think about not just your wealth, but your life in a way that gears you toward building wealth. I talk about buying assets and how to look for opportunities, but today I want to talk about creating assets. And essentially, creating assets is business ownership. When you create something of value, a product or service, immediately value is attached to that and a business is created. The problem is when there's no formal structure around it, you limit how much value you can actually get out of that. And so I created a process called the HBCU process that helps you along the process of getting as much value as possible out of your business. The HBCU process, from hustle to business to company to unlimited value. And I say this all the time. Listen, a hustle is an unorganized, informal business, but a business is nothing but a formalized, organized hustle. If you found something that you like doing, you found something that you're good at, you found something that you know how to make money at, but there's no formalized structure around it, it's nothing but a hustle. And that's fine. The problem is that you limit how much that hustle can grow because that hustle is dependent on your efforts. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you're not there to produce, you cannot extract any value out of it. And so the first goal into building wealth through creating assets is to turn that hustle into a business, to formalize it and organize it. And there's a few ways to do that. The first thing you want to do is just formalize your business. Decide the right business entity to create based on your industry, your business, your product or service, and make certain that you're legitimized with the state that you live in. You're legitimized legally so that you are viewed as a legitimate business in the eyes of the law. That's a simple step, but there's a lot of people that are making money based on a talent, ability, a product or service, and they don't even have that simple formal structure. But once you are formalized legally, the next thing that you want to do is formalize and create a structure around the process. If you have a service, if you have a business, you want to have a consistent and repeatable process, something that is predictable. Because when you have that, now you can predict and determine your cash flow. You can predict and determine your revenue. You can predict and determine consistency in how you make money. And the people that you are selling to have a consistent process every time. It's not a different experience every time. It's something that is repeatable, that somebody can identify in terms of where this value lies. And so you want to create structure and you want to create a repeatable process around your business so that your clients, your customers have the same experience every single time. When you create that type of structure, when you formalize what you do, now you can start to make decisions in the future because you have a predictable cash flow. You have something that you can rely on. Now you can look at your numbers and figure out how you can make it more efficient, how you can make it better. But the first step is to create a predictable and repeatable process around your product or service, something that you can duplicate over time, because that allows you to view your business in a much larger way. So formalization and organization, that's the way that you take a hustle and turn it into a business. Once you have a business, you still have a problem, because that business is solely tied to your work, your labor, and your efforts. And if you know my definition of wealth is the separation of time and money. And as long as your money is directly connected to your time, your work, your labor, and your effort, you can make a lot of money, but you can't build wealth. And so if you're in a business and you have a formalized, organized process, and you have everything organized, and you have structure, and you have repeatable cash flow, and you're making all kinds of money, but you have to do everything, that's a problem. You have to be there when the lights turn on. You have to be there when the lights turn off. You're doing the marketing, the accounting, the human resources. You're doing everything in your business. That's a problem, because if something happens to you, if you can't make it, if you get sick, if you're running late, guess what? The business suffers. And so having a business is not enough. You can have a business and it is successful, but if it is solely dependent on you, it has no value outside of yourself. And so the next step is to take that business and turn it into a company. Separate the value of the business from your value. And you do that in a few different ways. You have to automate. You have to delegate. You have to make use of efficiency. You have to make use of technology to separate yourself from the business. And so not only do you want to create a repeatable process, you want to create a repeatable process that can be done without your involvement. Something that can happen that still produces sales, still produces revenue, still gives you the quality product or service that you created without you having to be there. When you can do that, now you take that business and you turn it into a company, something that is separate and apart from your work, your labor, and your efforts. So now if you get sick, now if you can't be there, now if you want to take a vacation, the business still runs. Now you have created value. Now you have created something that is separate and apart from yourself. You have successfully created an asset when you have a company. That's why you have multi-billion-dollar CEOs that can step down from their day-to-day role in their company, and now they become visionaries. Now they can look at their business from a bird's eye view and make decisions about legacy, make decisions about the future. And so from hustle to business to company, and then the last step is unlimited value. Once you have created a company and you become the visionary, now you can make decisions 5, 10, 15, 20 years on how you're going to get as much value out of this company as possible. How you're going to extract that value, how you're going to expand, other opportunities for you to be able to grow. You take your hands off of the day-to-day processes and procedures, and now you become the overseer. Now you can be strategic in how you think about the future and get as much value out of your business as possible. That's the HBCU process. That's how you take something that you're good at, something that you like doing, something that you know how to make money at, and you formalize it and turn it from a hustle into a business, and you organize it and you create that repeatable process. You legitimize yourself legally in the eyes of the law, and you create a repeatable process that can be duplicated over and over again. And then you take that process and you extract yourself from the process to take that business and turn it into a company. And now that company is alive, separate and apart from yourself, and it has value separate and apart from yourself. And then you take that and you become a visionary and you figure out how to expand it as much as possible so that now you can really think about generational wealth. You can think about legacy. You can think about a business that you pass on to your family, or that you sell, or that you take public, or that you take to the next level. The HBCU process, from hustle to business to company to unlimited value. That's how you create generational wealth. Thank you for checking out my video, and I'll see you guys next time.